Okay, let's chat. I have actually not sat down and filmed a video in a while, and I'm gonna go ahead and spill it for you and just tell you all of my exciting announcements. There's been a few changes in my life within these last few months. I have started weight training. I am currently pregnant with my third child, and I got a new puppy, which was totally unexpected and unplanned. The puppy, not the baby. So needless to say, a lot of things have been changing. My body obviously has been changing. My energy levels have been changing. So it's been a few weeks since I've actually sat down and filmed a video. The ones that I've been posting have been videos that I already had filmed, and then I had just been editing them. So with all of this change has really been a reminder to me to just slow down. And honestly, no time in my life reminds me to slow down and the importance of that than pregnancy and the postpartum stage, just that entire stage in general. I feel like I had already kind of been chewing on that topic and trying to kind of implement it in my life, but it's not been until now that I'm really like digesting it, that I'm really applying it to several other aspects of my life. So earlier today, I was speaking with my personal fitness trainer, and I was telling her about how now that I'm home, I'm a homeschooling mom and I'm not working, I feel this sense of like wanting to have impact. Because when I was a nurse, I worked in ICU, I worked in hospice, I worked in jobs where I was so close to people at such deep levels that I felt I could actually tell that I impacted their lives. And I liked that feeling. I liked that feeling of being able to touch someone's life on such a personal level. That when I quit that and I started homeschooling, even though it's like, I'm not saying that I regret that at all. I love homeschooling. It was always my calling. I knew even before I had children that I wanted to homeschool my children. However, that being said, I also wanted to have something that was for me, where like I wouldn't lose my identity in motherhood, so that I wouldn't just be mom and then I would forget who I am, what I like to do, what my hobbies are. And so I wanted to always have something that was like my own little project, my own little baby. And I think that's important so that I can also maintain that knowing of my, like a sense of identity. However, there's been an issue with that, and it's really taught me that I have been addicted to productivity. And I already kind of knew that because I have been somebody that's really struggled with perfectionism in my life. And I say that, and I hate that like on interviews it seems like it's such a good thing, like I'm a perfectionist, but it's really not. It really can be detrimental because what is stemming from that is basically a lack of self-worth and people pleasing, because really you're never going to be happy with an end result if you're constantly trying to do something, do this, do that, whether it's like your body, maybe you want to get to a particular size or whatever, and then you're going to be happy with yourself, or you want to have a particular diet and then you're going to be happy with yourself, or you're going to have a particular career. Regardless of whether or not you're looking at pleasing other people, whatever they are thinking about you, or you feel shame of yourself and you want to please yourself, it's still self-esteem. It's still self-esteem. You're still basically the same issue. No matter whether you're trying to please other people, you still don't feel worthy because you're basically basing your self-worth on what other people view you as. Or if you're on the other end and you don't really care what other people think, but you don't feel good about yourself, you don't love yourself, that's still lack of self-worth. And that's still basically focusing on the whole self-esteem thing. And I had to kind of think about this when I was telling her about this issue that I had been having. Like, really, I had honestly been thinking about quitting YouTube, not because it's not been like producing money or like because I'm wanting money. Like, I'm just so blessed that I don't have to work. My husband is happily working for us, and I'm so blessed that like he'll bring home the check and I'm the one that basically administers it. It's not that. It's been the impact. Like, I have been so addicted to the whole productivity that I didn't realize that productivity was tied to my desire to have impact. And honestly, the more I've been thinking about why is it that I'm missing that sense of impact? And it's not that I'm home with my children and I'm doing something different. No, it's not that. When I really step back and think about why I'm having this sense of like wanting to be productive and wanting to do and wanting to achieve and wanting to have an impact, it's ego. It is nothing more or nothing less than my ego. Because if we're thinking about what we have to contribute to the world, I'm not going to talk about you. I'm going to talk about me. I'm going to talk about me and my failures and my weaknesses. And then hopefully you can just kind of dissect from it whatever you want. Because I can't tell you what to work on. I know that for me, this has been an issue for me. So I'm not telling you as a guru. I'm telling you just being vulnerable. But I had to think, if I am focusing on helping other people, and because I, that's the key word, want to know that I'm having an impact, and if I'm not having an impact, well, then I might as well do something else with my time. That is because of my ego, because I'm thinking of me. I want to know that I am affecting people's lives. So it's about me. It's not about other people. And honestly, that kind of hurt a little bit when I kind of figured it out. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so selfish. So basically, I want to help other people so that I can get the fuzzy feeling, not just so that I'm helping other people. That's my truth. Sorry. I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress. Maybe you feel stuck in a career, or just feeling stuck in life for some sort of reason. Think back. The things that you are you doing them genuinely because you love yourself, because you are worthy of love, and then you're just giving because you're full? Your cup is full. You're not giving because you want to be, and I'm not saying giving like giving money, like it can be giving money, giving time, giving attention. Giving of yourself is basically what I'm talking about. If you're doing whatever it is that you're doing for an extrinsic value, like something outside of you, maybe other people, or maybe recognition and achievements. I have been that way throughout my life, and it doesn't get you anywhere. The conversation that I was having with the fitness trainer, it was really, really awesome, actually, because I could see like my younger self, and I could see myself now, and I could see other people, and I could recognize that one of the people that I love struggled with anorexia. And when she was bigger, she wasn't happy with herself. She didn't love herself. She felt shame. She felt embarrassed. She felt frustrated. She felt a lack of power and control. And then with the anorexia, she became so thin that was absolutely unhealthy. She was still unhappy with herself. She still didn't love herself. She still hated herself. Like, it was just because she got to that physical state of that idea of what she wanted to look like, it didn't mean she was any happier, because she was addressing the outside, and she was addressing it from shame, from that lack of self-worth. She wasn't addressing it from the inside. And I had definitely been in that situation before. When I had my first pregnancy, I remember that I was like exercising, and I did the treadmill, and I did all these workouts. I ended up with diastasis recti, which was really hard to fix in the end. And honestly, all the things that I was doing did me no good. It took me so long to get my body back. And I think that I self-sabotaged myself because I was approaching it from the outside approach. I wanted to match that ideal. I don't know if it was for what other people would think of me as much as it was for me, because I didn't feel like I was good enough. And that perfectionism, it just destroys your life in so many ways. Versus my last pregnancy, I really, really worked on self-worth a lot more. I was so on it with affirmations, and I always thought affirmations were kind of phony, like, whatever. And I kid you not, it made such a huge difference, because anytime I would say anything negative to myself, anytime I would say, I'm so ugly, or whatever, I was able to say, I'm not going to listen to those thoughts. I am beautiful. I am worthy. I am whatever. And the more I started to repeat those things, looking at myself in the mirror and believing that, didn't matter whether or not I looked a certain way, or whether or not I was a good mom. Sometimes I just felt like a failure as a mom because my house was chaotic and my kids were being chaotic, and now I have a puppy and he makes messes, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm failing as a puppy owner now. And see, those words, those phrases of like, I'm failing, it doesn't mean that I'm a failure. And I used to tell myself those kinds of things, like, I'm a failure. And we have to separate that distinction. It's not who you are. I am not my achievements. I am not my failures. I am not the things that I do. And regardless of what I accomplish or what I failed at, I am still worthy. And I think if you approach your life from that aspect, it's going to help you so much towards actually achieving things, because now you're not focusing on, do you want people to notice you or not? Or are you good enough? For me, honestly, it wasn't really having recognition from other people anymore. It was more of, I wanted to feel like I was doing something worthy for myself. But that's still the same thing. Whether or not it's looking for other people's validation or for your own validation, you're still looking for validation. Well, you don't need it. You don't need it from other people. You don't need it from yourself. You are worthy. You are enough just as you are. And the one thing that really helped me to escape my addiction from productivity and constantly wanting to be and do more, honestly, was quitting social media. I recognize, I get told all the time, you're on social media. I know. I don't have any other social media. And honestly, even doing that, removing the Facebook and the Instagram and the, what was that? I used to be on Snapchat, all those other ones that aren't really that popular anymore. Or I don't know, is that a thing still? I don't keep up with those things anymore. But removing all of those has honestly impacted the way that I watch YouTube. Like if you looked at my YouTube history, it's all puppy stuff. Like I keep saying puppy. Hold on, let me show you. He is right over there. Oh, he's so cute. I will actually show you a little bit more about my puppy in another video probably, because the way that we got him was totally unexpected. Focus. Okay, sorry, that whole like puppy showing thing, it messed up my autofocus. So anyways, we are back. The social media topic. The way that I now approach viewing social media has completely changed, and I think it made a huge impact. One, because instead of focusing on my internal healing and focusing on the things that I need to change within me, and hearing all the outside noise of the world of what I'm supposed to look like and what I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to do, I could just shut that off and just focus on me healing and my inner well-being. And the way that it slowly happened is that all of a sudden, all those other little YouTube shorts and random videos, like they weren't really as interesting anymore, because I realized that my time was more valuable and that I was worth more than the random stuff, or that spending like several hours on random things. Not saying that those things are bad. Sometimes I do just really want to watch just a few funny videos. I just want to laugh. I just want to watch somebody that entertains me for a while, but it's not something that's taking over my day anymore like it used to be several years ago. And it just helps you in so many ways to kind of shut off that noise of the world telling you that you are not enough, because it already does. All of the advertisements, even the news will just kind of scare you and make you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough money. I'm not prepped for this economic collapse that's going to happen, or whatever situation is happening. It can just cause you to have fear and feeling of lack. And I think it all ties back to that feeling of worthiness. And it really helped me. It helped me because I also wasn't comparing myself to other people. And that's one of the things that I'm glad I've been able to work on, because a lot of the times if you struggle with self-worth, then you're going to compare, because you are measuring yourself by other people's standards. I would highly recommend for you, if you're struggling with productivity, you're feeling like you're addicted to doing things, to detach from that and instead focus on your self-worth and working on that. Because really, I think that's the root of it. That's the root of that issue, is that you feel like you are not enough and you must do, or you must be something, instead of just be who you are. I don't think that I need to necessarily do certain things in order to be worthy or be better. I had a situation recently where a mom, she has older children, like my age children. And I had told her that I wasn't working as a nurse anymore, and she just like looked like it was the most horrible thing in the world. Like I was a horrible woman. I was a shame of a woman, because now I'm at home and I'm not working, and it's not good for a woman to not work. And I'm like, I didn't even honestly get insulted because I realized she has a business. Like, she's just she's very focused on productivity and meeting standards and whatever. And I was surprised because I don't think that my worth is measured by what I do. And regardless of what you do, regardless of what you work in or what you're actually producing, you can still have purpose in that. So it's not that I don't have a purpose just because I'm working from home or I'm doing whatever. It's whatever it is that I'm doing it with purpose. I'm doing it with love because I love myself. If I'm loving myself, I'm going to treat my home differently. I've mentioned that in my cleaning video. I've mentioned it in several other videos that when you approach things from an aspect of self-love, self-worth, it changes the way you do everything. I enjoy cleaning now. I like cleaning my home. I like taking care of my home because I love the home that I live in, because I love myself. And so I want for myself to live in a clean, cozy home because I feel deserving of that. And in the past, I didn't. So when you change the way that you view the things that you're doing, not necessarily changing the things you're doing, but change the way that you're approaching it, it's going to be so, so different. Because now I'm not attached to the outcome. I'm not attached to whatever happens. And it's the same thing with like dieting or with exercising. A couple of weeks ago, I was sick. I didn't film anything. I did not feel good at all. And then I'm pregnant, so I was like even more tired. I didn't go to the gym. But you know what? I wasn't shaming myself for it. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm failing. I didn't go to the gym or whatever. No, it was like, I know that my body needs rest. I'm going to give my body what it needs because I love myself. So hopefully, if you can approach this issue of that constant need, that constant hustle mode with self-worth and self-love, then you will get a lot further. And a book that I recommend, I'm listening currently, which was just so perfect and honestly kind of inspired me to film this video. I'm listening on Hoopla. I have a Hoopla app. It's actually free. You can actually either get it on Audible and download that. I do have a link for Audible, actually. I totally forgotten about it, where you can get a free audiobook yours to keep, even if you cancel, with a free 30-day trial. I love Audible because I can listen to so many of the new titles that sometimes aren't available on Hoopla. So I would recommend that you keep Audible. But if you want to give it a try, you can actually listen to this book on Audible, or maybe go to your library and have an app like Hoopla or Libby. So the app that I have, I'll actually see if I can put it on the screen and film it. But this is how I actually access some audiobooks that I just don't want to pay for, is The Self-Worth Safari by John Nyland. I'm actually only like 10% into the book, so I'm not like really far into it. But when he was talking about self-worth and addicted to productivity, I'm like, oh my gosh, this has been me. This is my ego. Like, it was just like a whole epiphany moment. So I just wanted to share that with you, sharing my weaknesses and my vulnerabilities. I will be honest though and admit I'm not going to be posting videos for a little while because we just got this puppy. Like, we've had him for 2 days now. And so it's a lot of time. I've never had a puppy before. I've never had a dog before. Like, I used to be very, very afraid of dogs, and then slowly I started to think, I really need a dog. The way that it happened was super cool. I'm actually going to post the story of how we got this puppy on my Ko-fi page for any supporters. But I'm really excited. However, that means I need time for training and really for me to learn how to train a puppy. So I'm probably going to make a post for my subscribers that don't watch this video. That way you're kind of aware that I'm not going to be posting for a little while, just so I can focus on training, puppy training. Really, I should call it Yessie training. Like, I don't know what to do with a puppy. I really am feeling like, oh my gosh, like, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the snack at the right time? And anyways, I have a lot to learn, so I'm gonna focus on that and also getting some rest, because I'm in that like almost ending the first trimester stage, and it's so tiring. It's so tiring. So I just need to listen to my body and do a little bit less. But I do plan on continuing to post. I hope that you will let me know what videos you'd like to see in the future. I hope to see you in another video. Bye.